Moving on to question 2 then. So now I'm looking at the C grade answer for the linking to analyze a presentation and linking to text question. So the C grade here should be clear and relevant and show clear evidence that the headline and its effects are understood. Make some clear and appropriate links between the headline and the content of the text. So make some. So I only have to make 1 or 2. So I'm going to try and get 4 to 6 points in. So I make 1 or 2 if I want that mark. Offers a clear explanation of the effectiveness of the picture and links the picture to the content of the text. Offers a clear explanation of the effectiveness of the picture and links the picture to the content of the text, and employs relevant quotations or references. So the references part there means you're actually saying what you see but can't put into quotation marks, whereas quotations are things that you can just pull out from the text and quote. So explain how the headline and picture are effective and how they link to the text. Again, we have to be familiar with this part here, the explain, how, and they're effective and link. They're 3 questions that come up on this exam, they're going to come up on your exam, they're going to come up on next year's exam. It's going to be something like that, so make sure you've got to focus on it. The headline is really effective because it is in bold, which makes it stand out for the reader. You see that? I've put that in because it's a very easy way of getting some vague marks. It's not good. If you can avoid being generic like that, it would be better. But obviously that is shows some understanding, but it is very generic. And if you've watched the examiner's video, where we looked through the chief examiner's comments, they reference quite a lot that the generic answers weren't ones that got higher marks. That alone I would probably put in, there's in a basic area. I wouldn't really put it in I suppose actually you can't argue. It shows clear evidence that the headline and its effects are understood. The headline is effective because it's bold, which makes it stand out for the reader. That is a clear understanding, but it's a generic understanding as well. So I presume you'd still get the marks, but if you come up with something more original or more perceptive, then obviously you're going to get more marks. It is also at the top, which is the first thing the reader would see, which would keep their attention. Again, exactly the same kind of phrase. So yeah. Still clear evidence, but you probably grudgingly want to give that a 5, and you may well just think actually it's too generic, just a 4. It is also good because it uses the word up twice, and this ties in with the film Up about the man with balloons, like the article. Okay, so that's fair enough. There's an appropriate link with the headline and the content of the text. That is appropriate, because it used the word up and he actually understands it's the film. Could have expanded into why it's gone to it twice, but he hasn't. But there it is. The headline is also effective because this is about travelling and the article is all about a trip to France in a new way. So the headline is also effective because it's talking about travelling. So what I'm trying to get across, what the student, or my idea of a student is trying to get across here, is that they understand that the headline is about travelling and therefore the text is about travelling. But you see, this is again very vague. It's not, this one isn't clear. This one's more in the attempts. Okay, it's more of an attempt to link that one. But I've got 2 that kind of are a 5, so my paragraph here, my sentence here is maybe more of the 4. It's right, but it's not detailed in any way, and it's actually very, very basic. The picture is effective because it has all the items mentioned in the text. A man flying across the sea on a chair with some balloons. It's also really powerful as everything else looks really far away from him, which links to what he says about it being really peaceful. So that's a clear analysis of the picture, because it mentions that it's powerful because everything looks far away, and that makes it more peaceful for him, etc. And it's also again mentioned to all the things mentioned in the text. The student should be a lot more specific about that to get higher marks, but that should still keep me out of 5. The picture is also effective because the balloons are a very bright colour, which really stands out to readers. So readers want to read the article as soon as they see it, and that again is very like kind of just around here. It's, you know, there's an attempt being made, although it is accurate, but it's not linked to anything in particular. So overall, that's probably a weaker C than the question 1. If you looked at question 1 response as well, that's probably a weaker one than the question 1. I'd be surprised if the other one maybe got a 5 or a 6, and this one will get a 4 or a 5. But you can't, and even hopefully from just going through them and reading them yourself, you wouldn't really say that is as confident in as the other C grade, and that's interesting because it's obviously it's going to be all added up together to get the mark. So think about that. You don't have to ace one and then ace them. Oh, sorry. Obviously, if you want to ace them all, but if you don't understand something, obviously the student struggled here a little, then that's going to be a problem. If you are a bit confused as to why sometimes I'm referring to the student, etc., it's because I wrote these a couple of days ago, and I've completely forgotten what I've written. So I'm coming back to them now. I did it on purpose so I could actually see the choices made, etc., and what they would get. So yeah, and it's turned into being quite useful because I'm seeing exactly why this is borderline and why I put it that way, and hopefully you can see, which is a lot more important. So we move on now to an A grade and see what lies in store for us there.